Well, nothing much changed actually.
Nothing much, not too much is changing. Hey, well, it seems like we got Mr. Antonio in the building. How you doing, sir?
I've been better. Let's just say that. I've been better.
Oh yeah, you said your shoulder hurting today, huh? I've been hurting for a couple days.
My shoulder's hurting. My wallet is hurting. My wallet's acting up. I mean, you know, I'm putting out fires all over the place today. Ronald, I've been waiting on Ronald, man, for about 2.5 months to accept my friend request on Facebook. Now I feel like I'm almost older friend request. I've been sticking up for you all day, my man. I've been catching hell about you today, Ronald. I'm telling you right now, you are a hero, man. But my people are getting nervous. They're getting nervous, baby.
Well, it shouldn't be. Things are moving fine, I think.
Good.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the solution. What are we going to do? I did make a comment earlier. I didn't want to put this out public. That's why I asked Sherman to put this together for us. Because me being a developer myself, I know what you're dealing with. I'm going to be honest with you. I know that when you take this code and you're trying to make these enhancements, especially like with Atomic Swap, and when these features are being compounded like that, I do know that if there's a difficulty you deal with testing and the rollout and such like that. And networkers, like, you know, many of us are very impatient people. They don't understand that this stuff needs to be tested for a while. They just don't catch that. So we tend to panic very easily in this industry. You know how that is. I'm sure you're experiencing that now, right?
Yeah. I've been experiencing for the last 8 months now.
You know how that is. You change one thing and people are going nuts. They said, oh, and of course what happened with Plus isn't making it any less painful for people because they're paranoid. And I can't get upset at them for that. You know, but hopefully this is what my idea was. Because I understand that, you know, the nodes are acting up. Like, even for myself, like, I never even having problems, but even mine, I can't do anything in my wallet for some reason now. So I said, well, perhaps, I know that you just give them like a day or so, let them update it, and things should get back to normal. This was my thought process for the volume per se, because I know that a lot of people are trying to they have small deposits, are trying to do these withdrawals daily. It says it's just paranoia to draw down on the tokens, right? If we were to take the people who had even, you know the account numbers, right? I know all the account numbers, almost like credit card numbers, you know, it's a 16-digit number. If there were a way to take the even number account numbers and then versus the odd number account numbers and allow perhaps the people with even account numbers to withdraw, say, on set days, whether that be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then let the odd numbers withdraw perhaps on Saturday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You follow me? And if they were to do that, that's when I think that you may be able to stop that as much that bottleneck, because if your account number is not in even number, you don't try to attempt to withdraw on a Monday. But if you are even number, you can withdraw on a Tuesday and a Thursday. This is a thought process because I didn't know if the numbers were randomized that you guys were using for the account numbers.
Basically, we have actually thought about that before, but we find it too limiting.
Oh, really? Okay.
We find it too limiting. The thing is, what we're trying to do is to give everybody an equal chance to actually withdraw. But the thing is, I do not allow them to withdraw more than 2 times a week. So instead of doing 7 unlimited times a week now, they can actually plan their withdrawal to 2 times a week itself, which we believe that is quite a lot, you see. So I didn't limit the max they can withdraw as well.
I'm glad.
So
I'm glad that you
can put in like 50,000 or 100,000 CTOs. You can just change it. Doesn't matter.
Right.
But just don't do it too many times, you see. So that's the only issue now is, okay, instead of doing like 100,000 one go, or they will just do like, 10,000 10 times kind of thing. So that is actually choking up the nodes. So what we're trying to do is, please take out one time what you need and then just go about it. So that's the methodology that we are putting on. And I was trying to actually do a minimum CTO, but a lot of those small deposit members, which have been complaining, which I totally understand. Yeah. So basically, I left the minimum as it is. I do not set maximum. I just I just say that there's a limit on the number of times you can withdraw in a week. which is I think not much change. I think change for the better.
Right.
Whether it will have
you even have
any
people that
effect,
will
we are
complain.
not very sure as well.
Okay,
But
so that
from
takes care of the.
From the ET scan itself, what we found out is when we actually do an analysis on the ET scan, there are really some people that is actually doing multiple withdrawals within 100 Ethereum, and in a day they do it like 10, 20 times.
Really?
Yeah. For what reason, we have no idea at all.
Interesting.
Wow. So somebody is actually doing 100 withdrawals or 20 withdrawals of 100 Ethereum?
Yeah, or less. Sometimes like 80, 50 plus, 60 plus.
Why they won't just do it at one time?
Why are they breaking up the withdrawals like that?
Well, I have no idea. Probably they think that maybe it's faster or something. I'm not sure.
Strange as hell. Okay, so maybe that is part of the headachy problem as well. Because some people are doing strange things. Let me ask you this. I noticed since we implemented that atomic swap feature as well, did that in some kind of way affect the node operation inside of the code?
No, because the thing is, when we do atomic swap, right, we are actually just doing the internal selling for the tokens. Okay. So basically, we are the person that's buying up the CTOs, and we are actually selling the Ethereums. So basically, we are writing it on the Ethereum chain this way, so that it can actually work faster. We can delay write. We can actually write it in within X number of period of time. Not like the current, whereby we can't even write because it's the nodes are jammed up because of the
I can tell. I can tell because I haven't been able to convert in 2-3 days. In fact, so I said I know something's got to be going on.
But there are many people converting. There's like 4,000 plus transactions.
So you basically just have to catch a hot node basically, because I'm not one of those people to keep trying to over and over and over and over again. But I said I know it had to be just crowded. I said, well, let me give it a little time. Maybe I'll wait till the middle of the morning.
But I think that your problem will be mostly on the 2FA side, because if you disable the 2FA, you are able to do it. Because now we're having some problems with 2FA. One of the nodes are actually having timeout with the library. So we're trying to fix that. And
perhaps that's
so at the moment, in order to do something, to actually convert, just disable 2FA first and see whether it is fine. I can't publicly announce that because
that would be dangerous, and I wouldn't want you to do that. That's why I didn't say too much, because people can ruin when you have these networkers. And I will tell you this, Ronald, you guys are doing magnificent with the enhancements. But I, as a developer myself, I know that when you're dealing with this large of a user base and you make small changes, code is not always activated to expect it to, so it can rebel on you and you can have some issues. But networkers, they don't understand that. The networker just wants everything to just work. And I said, it's not like that when you're in a pre-launch application that you're adding these types of enhancements to. And then when the POS systems and everything come out, I mean, people are gonna go bananas when they get their hands on these cards, right? So it's gonna be very, very good for the business. But I just want these people to be able to relax and know that they know that everything will settle down. So that's absolutely a good thing. And I'm excited for the event. I mean, I've never been to Malaysia before, but I do have a couple of Malaysian business people here in Chicago. One of them is a billionaire, okay? And this young lady in her investment group, I was just literally showing them cloud at a dinner 2 days ago, and that's when I tried to do a conversion, and it wouldn't go through it. I was freaking out. I was like, that was my first time noticing. I was like, oh shit. So I said, well, maybe they think they're just doing an update. But she's gonna come to Malaysia as well, because these guys own like 100 commercial skyscrapers all over the world. But she's very interested in the wallet technology. So I'm very interested in them coming. She's a professor at the University of Chicago as well in economics. So I'm going to bring some really high-powered people out to see this. So I want to be able to know when everything is fixed. So if there is a way for me to be able to do a valid conversion, so just so I can show them as a demonstration, I would like to know when I could do that, even if it's not right now. But you say if I disconnect the two-factor authentication, at least I should be able to process it, basically.
Yep. Correct.
Well, yeah. Once you disconnect it, you're gonna have to reconnect it, because when you go to withdraw, they're gonna ask you for two-factor again. So what I had to do this morning was to deactivate it, and then reactivate it. They give you another code, and you have to put that onto your Google Authenticator, and it worked. Perfect.
So, Ronald, is that true? He just said, do you have to reactivate it, or can you disconnect it and actually perform the transaction?
No, you have to deactivate it and activate it again, and then convert. Yeah.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, they give you another code there.
Okay.
So yeah, you just add it to your Google Authenticator, and it worked perfectly.
That's the current solution now. So we are actually fixing this. Hopefully Monday itself, the code base should be ready, and you have to wait for Apple and Google to actually get it up, and then we can actually lock in that particular part. So that's the thing. On Monday itself, hopefully the atomic swap for CTOs into Jarvis will be ready. But this is a bit different because you're working with 6 different pairs now. Your CTOs, you can actually put it into either Ethereum, Dodge, or all the rest that we support. So this is the thing that we are pushing out. And the cool thing is, by hopefully mid of this month, we are pushing in DAI. So we will support DAI as well. And that's the first basis to push out Rogue, which is using Compound Finance and Celsius Network, and the BW exchange, and a couple more exchanges. So basically that works for small sum or small value investors who can put in like $1 or $10 at least. I think 1 is a bit too small, and most of them actually push for 10. So we're going to start with 10 first. So
10 to 500 basically for Rogue.
Yeah, so it's about about $10, right? So, but it will be using a block system which we actually developed, whereby you have a limit of how many people can actually participate in a particular block. Yeah, just like how Binance is doing with their tokens and things like that, right? So basically, we call it blocks. And once the block is full, then we'll open up a new participating channel, and we can start to do that again. Yeah, and every investment or every purchase into a block, it will hold that particular asset for the next 30 days. If you were to quit before the 30 days, you lose whatever chance you get in order to get the final draw. So the final draw itself, for example, Compound Finance and Celsius will give you per annum is about maybe 11 to 17%. So if we were to compound it back into a monthly payout, you'll be 1.something%, 1.3 or something like that. Now, if there's 10 million inside there, so which means that a month itself, you're getting about 130K back, right? Now, if it's 130K, we'll look for, let's say, maybe 100 winners or 1,000 winners. So depending on whether they get a 10,000 or they get 1,000, right? If you put in $10 and you win $1,000, that is already $100, 100 times return, right? So yeah, basically one of the things that we're doing is that. So for those that actually don't win, doesn't matter, because you can actually purchase per day. So if I were to buy this lot every day, okay, for $10, means my investment is about $300 itself. Every day itself, I have a chance to actually win 100 times a draw, right? So yeah, it keeps going this way. So it's a much more better investment for some of the guys. Yeah, instead of Jarvis itself, whereby you get a fixed income, fixed rate, depending on the trading. So this is one of the things that I think we will excite the market with. As the pool gets bigger, of course, the returns are even larger. So if you think about it, because the size of the network itself now that wants to take in the lending is quite large. So with about 100 mil, it's not that a lot actually. And we are already targeting at about 300 mil or so now. So yeah, I believe that this would last quite long. And I think that certainly the market or the exchanges are moving along this way. And if we have a large pool, we can actually negotiate a better deal with any one of them.
Nice.
I like that. That's good. And so these individuals with these smaller accounts, incremented, if they hold these assets in there, will they participate in the compensation plan the same way as they do now? Or will they be
compensation plan. Yeah, it's just only for a chance, a raffle of some sort, but you don't actually lose your the base. So if you're putting 300 and you actually go through, let's say, 30 days of raffle, but you do not even win a single time, you can actually take back the whole 300 without any loss at all. So yeah, that's one of the cool things about this. But this is only one of the things that we are pushing out, and you know that we are launching out the Cloud SIM project, right?
Right.
So the Cloud SIM project itself, we are good to actually now announce that it's going to be working with a few providers. AT&T is one of them, and T-Mobile is a second.
Verizon.
Vodafone, yeah, Verizon, Vodafone, yeah, for the state for the Europe side.
Okay.
So yeah, so we are actually working with some of these guys. And
how's that going to work, Ronald? How's the Verizon or how's that SIM going to work in the United States?
Basically, it's for roaming basis. For example, if you were to travel to Canada, I think for your SIMs are already. I mean, for the local SIMs, you can really do that. But for our SIM itself, you just actually buy or you put in a certain amount. Let's say, for example, you invest $200 into it, for example. All right. And whatever yield we get from there, let's say, for example, we get back about $20 in return per month, let's say, for example.
Okay.
That's about 10%, right?
Right.
Let's say probably less, let's say about $18. So $18 itself, we'll actually take that to buy bulk data for you. And from this bulk data itself, for example, you get about 4 gigs. Means you can use 4 gigs no matter where you are in that particular region itself. So if you were to actually travel to, let's say, Latin America or anywhere, you do not need any roaming itself. It covers in the data. For Europe itself, anywhere in Europe plus US, both sides. For US sites, you can go to anywhere in Europe. You can get that. You can use the same the data package that you have. For Asia, is about 12 to 18 countries, which you can just move around with the same package without roaming.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, this is only the step one of why we want to do this. Okay. In later stage, all the SIMs will be converted into global, which means that if you have a US card, you go to Asia or go anywhere, you're still using the same package. That's number one. But one of the more things that we're doing is we're targeting migrant workers with this card itself. So there are about 6 million migrant workers in Malaysia, about 1.4 million migrant workers in Singapore, and you're talking more in Dubai and the rest of the world, right? And most of these migrant workers, they actually want 2 things. They spend a lot on 2 things. One is actually on their phone bills. The second one is actually the remittance package. So they actually send a lot of remittance back to their country. And basically our SIM card, or the SIM card itself, will enable the wallet itself to be able to let them do a remittance. And that itself, we can actually get about maybe 2% of revenue from that. And the cool thing about that is we are not opening up ourselves to opening up a lot of these forex points, but we are working with our merchant program. Now, the merchants itself, with our merchant pause or without our merchant pause, doesn't matter, okay, is able to now sell and buy cryptos. So, for example, somebody would go to them and say that, okay, for the merchant, right? I want to buy, let's say, 5 Ethereum or 10, whichever within $2,000, right? So they can actually do it, and the merchant itself will earn 1% for every time they buy or they sell. All right. Now, same thing happens. Let's say, for example, I have let's say a Filipino working in Malaysia, and she's going to send back, let's say, $1,000 US. So when she sends back home $1,000 US, and in Philippines itself, we have marketers or network marketers that actually sign up all these merchants, right? And these merchants itself, let's say if they have cash on hand, they can actually do that. They can actually settle that remittance for the person who's sending, and they themselves, the merchant itself, will earn 0.5% from that by actually buying up the tokens and giving cash to the other party. So we are actually disrupting the remittance industry by using our network marketing and affiliate program.
Oh, brother, let me tell you something. You just struck a nerve with that, because that is, and that's going to be a much more inexpensive option.
Yeah.
As well. Huge savings. Man, that's a whole nother market being picked up. Because the remittance is, I'm telling you, the interest in return fees, like the Western Union and what is this other one? That's
it's about 5%. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The fees are staggering. Yeah. Now, how will these SIM cards be dispersed? Are any of these going to be ready next month?
Yeah, we are actually giving up close to about 20,000 SIM cards already by next month during the event. And the SIM cards can be sold to leaders in bulk, and you can just push it out. So we'll give you a small margin to actually make for handling the cards itself. You can actually do that.
Okay.
Now, will the cards be set to only work in certain jurisdictions? So if I'm in the United States, would those SIMs that I would purchase only be good for here in the States? Or does it say I have...
For now, the ones that you're getting in the event itself is only good for your local location. But the ones that we are selling, they're called global SIMs, which will work anywhere in the world.
Nice. When will you have the global SIMs? When will we have those?
Because of the production process itself, because there are two SIM standards. The one that we got was actually using can't remember this guy's start with G.
GSM?
I can't remember the company name, but that particular company itself, they have a backlog of SIM cards production now. So we're waiting for them to release the next batch of SIM cards for us. We actually ordered about 100,000 SIM cards that we are going to first push out to the migrant workers in Singapore and Malaysia. So we plan to actually sell about 1 million of this by the end of next month. So they're producing those cards now.
Interesting. So if we activate a SIM for an individual, buys that gets traded, is that coming into the compensation plan as well?
Not for this, but for the networkers, for every merchant you sign up, it's an affiliate program. So for every time somebody actually buys something for the merchants, you get paid.
Nice. Okay.
Get interesting. Okay.
And does that go into the reserve pool, or it's
sign up merchants? And whenever any of this migrant workers or any of these SIM card users, right, they actually use our cloud wallet to actually buy something from the merchant, you get paid.
Okay. So when would these POS systems be ready? The ones that the merchant will be actually
they are ready. They are already ready, and we are just waiting for our CESA license, which we have actually got it approved already. Now pending for us to actually pay for the license fee, which is about $1.5 million to be deposited into Philippines. So once we actually do that, and we have to sign a contract locally to have a bank account. So once that is ready, we are good to go with the OTC. So the most important thing is the OTC license itself, okay? Without the OTC license, we don't have a bank account that can actually buy and sell crypto to fiat. So with that license, we can actually do that already, yeah.
Nice.
So let's see, how long do you think it will take to actually get the license?
We have actually been looking for it for the last 2 months. For last week itself, it was doing a due diligence process for our backend system itself, which it's I think it should be okay. It passed, but now we are waiting for us to do the commercial side, which is to get the company ready for the bank account. So once that's ready by next week, we are good to go by probably end of the month.
I like that.
Which is what we actually expected it to be.
Fascinating. Now with all this CTO movement, we spoke some time ago about there being an open blockchain to be observed by us, to be able to see the CTOs of those moves.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, I put that down in the lowest priority. But after my Poland trip, most of them actually wanted to see it. And we actually we pushed it up, bumped it up a bit. And we are going to actually release a very rudimentary version of the Blockchain Explorer. They can see all the transactions and the total supply and the total circulation and the asset back into the collateral debt positioning through the system itself. So you'll be able to see the number of CTOs in there with the Ethereum backings and also the total circulation and what is the in and outs and everything. Yeah.
Yes, that would help a lot. See, because that would actually suffice to show some of these people so they can actually see these backlogs and see what actually is happening with these transactions as well. You know, the user base.
We do it also because the merchants themselves, they need to actually check the on-chain transactions of how much or where the transaction has been to and things like that. So yeah, we need it anyway. So basically, we're pushing that out really soon.
Awesome.
That sound. That's good. Now, these POS units that are going to go out to the merchants, there'll be no restriction on what location a merchant can be located in, right? They can be here in the States, they can be in Malaysia, they can be in Hong Kong. It doesn't matter where they are. As long as they have the unit itself, then that's all they need. Well, they need.
They might not need a unit at all, depending on the merchant itself. If the merchant needs to have a receipt, then they will have to get a POS, or they can just get their own Bluetooth printer, which our wallet app will actually handle. It's the same app that you've been using, but there will be another side tab which is called Merchant. When you click on Merchant, it will just change to that POS payment itself. There are two types of POSes that we are actually giving out. One is actually a real POS solution. The other one is actually a payment solution, whereby you just enter in, for example, you're in Hong Kong. You enter in Hong Kong dollars, and you actually convert to Ethereum price or whatever crypto price that the member or the customer has actually selected to. So, for example, we accept about 9 types of cryptos, including CTO as well, and another crypto called the GNDT. It's called Gorilla Networks Data Tokens. Okay, so the SIM provider is actually from Gorilla Networks, which is an MVNO that is a new MVNO that is going to actually have multiple MVNO license around Asia.
Okay.
I like what I'm hearing. Now I'm about to this is secure sound. I like that. And so the good thing is, so I can see now that it seems like these protocols you're establishing sort of setting up to almost be end up being like a proprietary to be able to hold crypto assets, almost like a bank. So
yeah,
is that what the long-term objective is, to be able to do that?
Yeah, the whole long-term objective for us is to become the largest wallet provider in the entire world. So we will have our own network, our own platform, and our own ecosystem itself. And this is actually a pioneer program that we are actually building to show governments that this can be done. And what's even better than if you have about 100 million users with about, let's say, 1.5 million networkers and 20 million merchants around the world. So this is a very good showcase. And then we will actually link up with all the various governments, telling them that this is the SOP that we're going to do. This is how we can do the taxation. Because the most important thing is tax. Every citizen's responsibility is to actually help everyone, help the government as well by paying tax. Okay, it's our duty. So the thing is, we are not trying to skip it. Okay, but what we don't want is the ability for the government to actually keep printing money to manipulate the economy. The economy is supposed to be by the people itself. So this is what we are trying to do. We're telling them this is the way to go, and we have a working model. We are transferring billions a day, okay, and this is how we actually paying for tax. So we have all this model, and then we're going to deploy in each of these countries itself. We can go with the smallest ones and the most dire ones. For example, like Venezuela, right? You have a 1,000% inflation issue, right? And this is a model whereby you can help them really change things.
Get control of a fiat system with a system like this. And I think that's what we need to have. We got to rein some of this fiat printing in, because these governments are out of control, man. They're out of control.
Yeah. So one of the things that we understand is, unlike most, actually I can do it as a traditional project whereby we can get a lot of VCs in and things like that. But we choose another route. We are going to self-fund ourselves, and we're going to go with a network marketer way, which is going to be much, much faster. If we work with a VC, okay, for example, they throw in 300 million for us, it's not going to mean anything, because I'm going to burn the 300 million in a blink of an eye by hiring so many agents to actually run around. And how many countries can we actually get? Using the network marketing way, okay, how much do we use? Less than 2 million, 3 million? And the thing is, the network marketers itself are part of us itself. They are part of the partners, okay? And within like 3 months, we are in 148 countries.
Okay. Well, damn near 1 million wallets. So something's working right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, that MLM or network marketers is not a taboo. It's the shortcut to success. It's just that you need to manage it well.
Right.
Absolutely. It's got some headaches to it, but listen, I've been in it for 30 years, and it makes sense to me.
I think for business itself, this is the way for us to actually accelerate whatever we want to do. You look at it, MasterCard and Visa, Eurocard, it took 50 years to cover the whole globe. And that is for the bankable, right? And PayPal took 12 years because of the internet. They took 12 years to actually cover the whole entire globe, okay? Yeah. But it's only for the bankable.
That's true.
All right?
That's true.
With our technology itself, with the internet and mobile phones on everybody's hands, in 3 years' time, we're going to cover the entire globe, okay? Bank and unbankable.
Bank and unbankable, both.
Yeah, both.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget that.
Right. We're going to leave no stone unturned, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's somehow, there's a misconception about the unbankable. These guys are not poor. They just don't have banking facilities.
Oh, I understand that completely. So when you be saying unbankable, I hope people are not misconstruing that would mean that people are in poverty because they're unbankable. Yeah. A lot of these people are liquid and a lot of times they're debt free, just because of the fact that they are not fooling around in the lending system. So, I'm crystal clear that there's a lot of liquidity in that couple billion people who are not being banked right now. And that's the whole
with cell phones.
Yeah. I think traditional banking is on its way out. And I think that
so just look at this country, let's say like Indonesia, right? So they have the largest population in Asia, about 320 million in population size. 80% of them are unbanked. All right. You look at Vietnam, 77 million in population, about 80% unbanked. All right.
Wow.
You look at India itself, 1.2 billion people. Just imagine how many percent unbanked. All right. These are the crazy numbers.
Yeah.
All right.
Each of those people only came in with $10, $15, $20 of capital just in that device. And you multiply that times those numbers, you're talking about trillions of dollars. It's staggering.
Actually, not just that itself. The thing is, we have a way for them now to actually turn their cash into digital. So, for example, a village, all right? So you have a village head. The village head or you have merchants around that our networkers were to sign up. So now they can take that cash to pass it to the merchants. The merchants will give them something in crypto, and now they can use crypto to actually do their daily trades, right? Plus they're earning from whatever they put in.
Correct.
So you can send it anywhere in the world. Okay, maybe their kids are in the city. or the kids can send it back to them, and it's all a crypto, and they can go back to the local merchant to actually withdraw cash if they need to.
Yeah, in their own currencies as well.
Yeah,
it's really the perfect system, to be honest. You know, it's ingenious where this is going. In 12 months, man, I think literally this is going to be a household name. I mean, people are hearing about it now, but I think the longevity that stretches out and it starts to just work continuously over 12 months or so. I don't think there's going to be anything ever touching it. Like you said, PayPal revolutionized the way that people were sending money. People still didn't even understand how that even happened.
Yeah.
I think less than 36 months.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of projects, what they promise you is, 100%, 200% return and things like that. But in cloud itself, we are not promising you a lot of things like that. When you look at our price of the tokens itself, it hardly goes up. It might even go down looking at the rate that everybody's doing the conversion, right? It might even go down. The thing is, we're still trying to peg it by supplying from the reserve pool.
Right.
So, we are looking at the growth of the company and how we can actually expand it in such a way that it's economically sustainable for everyone.
Right.
So, as what you can see that we are doing and what we are planning for, and all the updates that we are giving out into the public, right, is actually along the line of what we are trying to achieve within this short period of time. So that's the big difference. The projects itself, they're just trying to say that, okay, you earn money this way, you earn money this way. But what are you contributing into? Nothing much. So this is actually trying to build something big for the future, whereby you can be part of. To say that you're part of PayPal, it's like, wow, PayPal now, 125 billion in market cap. But when we are even bigger than PayPal at the time, you are part of CTO. If you are a C5, you're a director, you have voting rights, okay? And because we are trying to get ourselves in such a stage whereby it's going to be a corporate, so we will have to assign our own independent directors, actually from the member pool itself. But because we are a social economy itself, there are certain things that we do not need to really follow because we are not listed. We don't need to be, okay? And we don't have any VCs at all because you guys are the VCs itself. All right,
the shareholders.
So we self-govern ourselves.
Right.